The Whispering Kingdom. A long time ago, there was a magical kingdom called the Emerald Kingdom. It was surrounded by high mountains, green forests, and shining rivers. At the center of the kingdom stood a huge golden palace where King Alaric and his daughter, Princess Alicia, lived. The people loved their kind king and their brave princess, who always cared for the poor and the weak. One day, strange winds blew through the kingdom. These winds carried whispers that only some people could hear. The farmers in the fields, children in the gardens, and even the soldiers in the palace all heard the same words. Beware the shadows. The key lies in the hidden chest. The king grew worried and called his wise wizard, Elder Wyler, to the palace. Wyler was an old man with a long white beard and a crystal staff that sparkled in the sunlight. "My king," Wyler said, "these whispers are a warning. Dark forces are waking, and the kingdom is in danger. We must find the chest of Etherian before the shadows do. The chest holds a powerful secret that can save or destroy us." The princess's promise. Princess Alicia listened carefully. "Father," she said, "let me help. I will find the chest and protect our people." At first, King Alaric did not want her to go. "It is too dangerous, my child," he said. But Alicia insisted. Elder Wyler also believed she was the right person for the task. "The chest can only be found by someone pure of heart," he explained. To protect her, Wyler gave Alicia a magical companion, a white wolf named Lyric. Lyric was no ordinary wolf. He could understand human speech and sense danger. Together, Alicia, Wyler, and Lyric began their journey. The Forest of Whispers. The first clue to the chest lay in the Forest of Whispers, a dark and mysterious place. The trees were old, their branches twisted like claws. As they walked deeper, they heard soft whispers in the wind. "Do not fear," Wyler said. "The forest tests your courage." In a small clearing, they found a glowing tree. On its trunk was an inscription. "Only the brave may light the way. Seek the flame beneath the mountain's gaze." Wyler explained, "We must go to Mount Ignis, where the flame of courage burns. But beware. The mountain is guarded by fire creatures." The mountain's challenge. Mount Ignis was a volcano, its peak hidden in smoke and ash. As they climbed, the ground was hot, and the air smelled of sulfur. Suddenly, fiery serpents appeared, their glowing eyes fixed on the group. Lyric growled, but Wyler raised his staff and created a shield of light to protect them. At the heart of the volcano, they found a crystal orb surrounded by flames. "This is the flame of courage," Wyler said. But before they could take it, a giant beast made of fire rose from the lava. "Only the brave can claim the flame," it roared. Princess Alicia stepped forward. "I do not seek this flame for power," she said, her voice steady. "I seek it to protect my people." The beast stared at her, then bowed its head. "You are worthy," it said, and disappeared. Alicia carefully took the orb, and the group left the mountain. The Garden of Light. The next clue led them to the Garden of Light, a place of unmatched beauty. The flowers glowed in every color, and the air was filled with soft music. In the center of the garden stood a majestic angel with golden wings. Her name was Seraphina, the guardian of the garden. "You have the flame of courage," Seraphina said. "But to find the chest, you must also earn the tear of compassion and the gem of wisdom. These will test your heart and mind." The Test of Compassion. Seraphina led them to a shimmering lake called the Mirror of Trials. "Step into the water," she said, "and face your greatest fear." Alicia stepped forward. The water rippled, and a vision appeared. She saw a poor village suffering from famine and sickness. In the vision, she had the power to save them, but it would come at great personal cost. Alicia felt the villagers' pain and knew what she had to do. She reached out her hand in the vision and chose to help them. The vision faded, and in her hand appeared the tear of compassion, a glowing blue crystal. The test of wisdom. Next, Seraphina gave them a riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I? Alicia thought carefully. Then she smiled and said, An echo. The gem of wisdom, a brilliant green jewel, appeared in her hand. Seraphina smiled. You are ready, she said. The chest awaits you in the Valley of Shadows, the dragon's lair. The Valley of Shadows was a dark and cold place where the sun never shone. At its center was a large cave where the eclipsed dragon slept. This ancient dragon guarded the chest. Alicia, Wyler, and Lyric entered the cave quietly. The dragon's scales shimmered like the night sky. As they approached, the dragon opened its eyes. Why have you come? It growled. Alicia stepped forward. I seek the chest to save my kingdom, she said bravely. The dragon tested her heart, mind, and courage by creating illusions of her greatest fears and doubts. Alicia stood firm, her faith in herself and her mission unshaken. Satisfied, the dragon moved aside, revealing the chest of Ethereum. Alicia opened it carefully, and inside she found a glowing key and a message. The true treasure is the power within you. Use it wisely. The return to the kingdom. With the key in hand, Alicia, Wyler, and Lyric returned to the Emerald Kingdom. Using the key, they unlocked a hidden chamber beneath the palace. Inside was an ancient spell that could banish the shadows threatening the land. Alicia recited the spell with Wylar's help, and the dark forces were defeated. The kingdom was safe once again, and the people celebrated Princess Alicia's bravery. From that day on, Alicia was not only known as a kind and beautiful princess, but also as a fearless hero. The story of her journey was told for generations, reminding everyone that courage, compassion, and wisdom are the greatest treasures of all. The End. The Tale of Lyric, Guardian of the Hidden Forest. Chapter 1. The Guardian's Call. Long before Lyric joined Princess Alicia on her journey to find the chest of Ethereum, the White Wolf lived in the Enchanted Forest, a magical place where no human dared to step. This forest was home to ancient creatures, whispering trees, and glowing rivers. Lyric was no ordinary wolf. He was the guardian of this mystical land, chosen by the forest spirits to protect its secrets. One day, Lyric sensed something unusual. The winds carried whispers of a growing darkness. The same strange winds that would later warn the Emerald Kingdom had first reached the forest. The spirits called out to Lyric. You must leave the forest, they said. There is a great danger coming, and the world will need you. At first, Lyric hesitated. He loved the enchanted forest and had never stepped outside its borders. But the spirits were wise, and Lyric trusted their judgment. He set off on a journey, unaware of the challenges and adventures that awaited him. Chapter 2. The Wolf and the Shadows. As Lyric left the forest, he noticed the world outside was not as peaceful as his home. Villages were quiet, and people seemed frightened. In the distance, he saw dark clouds gathering over the mountains. It was here that Lyric encountered his first test. A pack of shadow wolves appeared. These were not ordinary wolves. They were made of smoke and darkness with glowing red eyes. They were sent by the Shadow Lord, a mysterious figure who sought to take over the land. Lyric stood his ground, his white fur glowing faintly under the dark sky. The shadow wolves attacked, but Lyric was fast and strong. Using his instincts and the wisdom of the spirits, he defeated the wolves, though he was left with a scar on his shoulder. This was only the beginning of his battle against the shadows. Chapter 3. The Village of Whispering Waters. After his fight, Lyric reached a small village by a glowing river known as the Whispering Waters. The villagers were kind but scared. They told Lyric about the Shadow Lord who had cursed their land. The crops would not grow, and the river was losing its magic. "We heard a legend," one villager said. "There is a secret flower deep in the forest called the lunar blossom. It blooms only under the light of a full moon and can break any curse." Lyric agreed to help. That night, under the full moon, he ventured deep into the nearby forest to find the lunar blossom. The journey was not easy. He had to cross a dangerous swamp and avoid traps set by shadow creatures. Finally, he found the glowing flower, its petals shining silver in the moonlight. Lyric brought the flower back to the village. When the villagers placed it in the river, the curse was lifted. The waters sparkled once again, and the crops began to grow. The villagers thanked Lyric and promised to help him in his quest. Chapter 4. The Journey to the Crystal Peaks. The villagers told Lyric about a place called the Crystal Peaks, where he might find more answers about the Shadow Lord. The peaks were a dangerous range of mountains covered in ice and snow. It was said that a powerful creature called the Frost Guardian lived there. Lyric climbed the icy mountains, his paws sinking into the snow. The cold bit at his fur, but he pressed on. At the top of the peaks he found the Frost Guardian, a giant white bear with glowing blue eyes. The bear roared, shaking the mountains, but Lyric did not back down. "I do not wish to fight," Lyric said. "I seek your wisdom. Tell me how to defeat the Shadow Lord." The Frost Guardian studied Lyric and finally spoke. "The Shadow Lord's power comes from a hidden object called the Obsidian Crown. Destroy it, and his hold on the land will break. The crown is hidden in the caverns of dusk, but beware, it is guarded by ancient traps and shadow beasts." Chapter 5. The Caverns of Dusk. The journey to the Caverns of Dusk was long and dangerous. Lyric traveled through deserts, forests, and ruins, meeting both allies and enemies along the way. He encountered a small group of travelers who were also fighting the shadows. Among them was a kind sorceress named Liora, who could control light magic. Liora agreed to help Lyric. "You have courage, Lyric," she said, "but even the strongest need a little help." Together they entered the Caverns of Dusk. The air was thick with darkness, and the walls seemed to whisper warnings. The traps were clever, designed to test both strength and wit. In one chamber, Lyric had to solve a puzzle involving glowing stones. In another, he fought shadow beasts alongside Liora, who used her magic to light their way. Finally, they reached the heart of the caverns, where the Obsidian Crown rested on a pedestal. As Lyric approached, the Shadow Lord's voice echoed through the chamber. "You think you can stop me, Wolf?" the voice boomed. "The shadows are eternal." Lyric did not hesitate. With a powerful leap, he knocked the crown from the pedestal. Liora used her magic to destroy it, and the cavern shook as the Shadow Lord's power began to fade. Chapter 6. The Return of Light. With the crown destroyed, the shadows retreated, and the land began to heal. Villages that had been dark and lifeless were now filled with light and laughter. Lyric and Liora returned to the Whispering Waters, where the villagers celebrated their victory. The spirits of the enchanted forest appeared before Lyric. "You have done well, guardian," they said. "The world owes you its gratitude. But your journey is not over. You must return to the forest and continue protecting its secrets." Liora smiled. "I will miss you, Lyric, but I know the forest is lucky to have you." Lyric returned to his home, where the trees whispered his name in gratitude. Though he missed the friends he had made, he knew his duty was to the forest. And so, Lyric the White Wolf remained its faithful guardian, always ready to face whatever danger came next.